What's up everybody, and welcome to the channel. Today we are taking a look at a 2022 Ford Mustang EcoBoost with the high performance package. We're gonna see what this 4-cylinder muscle car has to offer. This is pretty much the best it gets for a 4-cylinder Mustang. So with that said, let's see what is powering this car. You can already tell you have a 2.3 liter inline 4-cylinder EcoBoost. If I can find the latch. EcoBoost is Ford's name for a turbo engine, so a 4-cylinder turbo, now pumping out 330 horsepower from this motor, making 350 pound-feet of torque. 0 to 60 is going to be around 5 seconds. You can either pair it to the 10-speed automatic or the 6-speed manual transmission. Of course, it is rear-wheel drive. You're also going to see we get a massive set of Brembo brakes on it, really nice set of 19-inch wheels, and magnetic suspension with an active exhaust, all part of this $6,000 performance package. Taking a look at the styling, I love the grille. Really cool design with all the horizontal and vertical slats in it, and it's all gloss black for the trim. Got your pony logo with the American flag, and then I like how this is actually gloss black instead of just cheap plastic now. More openings to allow more cooling, and you get a pretty good looking front splitter protruding forwards. Of course, you have the traditional headlights with LED, nice lines up in here for the DRLs, and then a lot of sharp lines within the front bumper with your turn signals down below. So definitely a great looking car. Finishing grabber blue, cannot go wrong. Then you get some really sharp body lines going all the way up towards the windshield, and even these heat extraction vents has a really nice look with even more lines. So pretty big front end as you would expect from any muscle car. And then at the side, of course, we got those wheels wrapped in the Pirelli tires. Pretty cool trim with some sharp lines in the bodywork. Then I really like that high performance badge. You're going to see some sharp lines all throughout the side profile, a matching side skirt to that front splitter, and then body colors for the side mirror with an integrated turn signal, body color door handle, and then all black around the windows. And I like how on the roof you're even going to get some sharp lines that match the hood. So it kind of ties in the entire design. And then if we look at the side profile, this has what they call a fastback design. So it's got that classic look where the whole roof just goes right into the trunk, just kind of fades away. Very classic muscle car aspect to it. And then along the trunk, you're gonna see a nice deck mounted spoiler, part of the performance package. You get really sharp lines above the rear wheel to give it that wider appearance. And then in back, we get that traditional 3-bar taillight. And they're 3-dimensional. It's pretty neat the way it's set up. Sequential turn signals, all gloss black throughout the center with your pony badge. You also get a backup camera. And there's parking sensors within the rear bumper. Reverse light is here with some cool fins on this diffuser. And then you get a quad exhaust with that active valve. So pretty good car. That sounds really sweet. And if we go ahead, we have remote start. You can hear that valve really quickly. It actually sounds really good, and you can hear the turbo spooling, so that is really neat. You can just hear that whistle of it as it's idling. If we go ahead and hop inside, it does have the smart key, so it'll automatically unlock now. This is a premium, so you get the black leather interior, aluminum accents, the massive 12-inch gauge cluster. You can see all the black leather, some good padding, as well as your grab handle, window controls, mirror controls, memory seating, and lock and unlock, and a good release handle. Get a little bit of storage, 2 speakers, and then this is all illuminated and aluminum with Mustang. Really nice to see that. You can see your power controls. Weird, you still get manual recline. I don't know why they couldn't do that all power, but that's what you get. You got the nice smooth leather with massive bolsters, and then I really like all the perforations in the center. Pretty good looking seat for not being Recaros or anything too fancy, but for the basic seats, I like them a lot. We can grab this lever and pull this forwards. We do have the comfort access, so the seat will kind of go backwards when you hop in it. But then you get the 2 bucket seats in back, 4 seat capacity. And then hopping in here at 5'11" isn't the best place in the world. I can climb my way in. You do get decent legroom, and this seat itself is nice. However, headroom is not really there. I can't really get my head up to the ceiling, so it's decent in a pinch if needed. And then from back here, you have latches you can pull and get these seats down. You'll have to move these just a little bit, but with them nice and down, you get a lot more storage space. And you can easily hop out by just grabbing that and climb our way out of the car. So from there, we'll grab the other one, open that up, and then you have a button on the key fob, one on the interior, but there's also one at the lower portion of the bumper. That is an awesome feature to really make this a usable car, but we really do get a pretty big trunk. Goes all the way into the interior. So Mustang really is a practical car. You can have some fun in it and still use it on the day-to-day. So now let's hop in the car, put the seat back, foot on the brake, let's fire it up. And then everything turns on. We get that massive display like I mentioned. If you scroll up and down, you can see a few things that will come up. Then if you tap this logo right here, you can see my mode. You also get the exhaust mode. You can go into a quiet mode all the way into the track mode to really make it sound awesome. Track apps as well. Quite a few performance features for this car. So it's pretty nicely equipped if you want to have some fun. And then the drive modes are even tied to that exhaust. You toggle these and you're going to see the entire gauge cluster change. The exhaust valve just got a little bit louder. Going into track mode, once again the exhaust gets louder. We get magnetic suspension, so it tightens up all that, tightens up the steering. Then you can scroll all the way back up into the normal mode. You have steering adjustments as well. And again, they can all be tied to the drive mode, so pretty sweet to see all that. Your basic controls, radio, audio, Bluetooth, cruise control, steering wheel mounted paddle shifters for the automatic, and the stalks on the left and right. I do like this little bit of storage you get next to the trunk button, headlight controls, and then this is it for the traditional double bump dashboard 2024. You just get a massive screen, so no more traditional look for the Mustang. You get a boost gauge, oil pressure gauge, and even the high performance badge over here. You get your Sync 3 system, which is pretty basic. If you've been in any Ford in the last 10 years, you pretty much know exactly what you're going to be looking at here. All your climate controls, dual zone temperature, fan speed. You get your heated steering wheel control, phone integration, all your navigation will set up. Pretty simple, nothing too crazy fancy. However, it kind of gives you what you need. And we get our backup camera as well, which still has pretty good graphics and parking sensors. We have all of your radio controls down below that, and then physical climate controls as well with the heated and ventilated seating. And then when you make any adjustment, it comes up on the screen as well. Fan speed on off, all those toggle switches. Pretty nice looking. It's been out for quite some time now. We get a little bit of storage there, manual parking brake, and then a pretty good sized glove box. Pretty nice interior, of course, being the premium. But with that said, let's test out this performance package, see what this car's all about. All right, guys, so we are setting off now. I will say the 10-speed, there are so many gears, especially when you're in manual mode. You gotta shift quite a bit. But in this car, you know, you have plenty of power. It gets up to speed pretty well. We are in the track mode manual, just kind of playing with the car, seeing what it can do. In this mode, the steering is pretty tight and the suspension is nice and firm as well. Actually feels pretty pinpointy and composed at the lower speeds. Not too many crazy turns to really feel it out on the higher speeds, but around town, you know, you can tell the car is definitely zippy and pretty tight compared to the basic EcoBoost. From here, let's toggle into the sport mode, which is normal mode for this car. And then going over some train tracks in this mode. These are pretty bumpy. Actually not that bad, pretty nice and smooth. And then now in automatic, kind of just the basic drive modes for this car. I will say that the transmission isn't my favorite. I would definitely go with the manual transmission. I feel like the automatic is just a little jerky around slow speeds and sometimes. Getting up to speed normally and everything. I mean, plenty of power. The shifts themselves are nice and smooth. It's just in between shifts, it kind of jerks you a little bit. And when you slow down to a stop, it's just a little jerky. So I don't know, I could see it being just a little bit more refined, have a few more aspects to it that are a little bit better. But normal driving, you know, it's pretty nice and comfortable. Visibility is pretty good too when you just drive this like a normal car. You have a really large windshield, you can easily see around. And all the glass does a great job letting me know what's going on. Mirrors do a good job. Over your right and left shoulders, pretty good as well. let's tone it back into track mode. A nice sweeper turn, feeling out the suspension once again. It is definitely a big step up from the normal EcoBoost without this suspension. Like sharp turns, not that bad. We drove a normal one in the mountains and it was awful. This would definitely have been a heck of a lot better. Still not the most pinpointy car in the world, and for this price point, you could, if you don't need back seats, get a 4-cylinder Toyota Supra, which would be a way better performance car, a lot faster, and a lot better handling. So I could see those improvements happening, but if you really do want, you know, a sub $50,000 4-cylinder sporty car, the EcoBoost with this performance package is not a bad way to go. I just would stick with the stick shift just because it's so much more fun. Of course, if you really need that daily drivable aspect, you know, I could see the automatic. So back into gear, we'll get up and go just a little bit. Second gear. I mean, it packs a punch. The extra horsepower you get with this performance package is definitely a nice thing to have. But overall, you know, it's a pretty fun, sporty car to drive. I wouldn't say it's a true sports car, though. If you really want that, I think a Mach 1 is going to be the way to go. That's the true sports car Mustang, or of course, a Shelby. This one, though, very sporty, great daily driver. Has all the aspects you're going to want. Plenty of power to get up and go. Very good and practical. And with the suspension and steering, you know, it can handle tight enough to just have some fun and just play with it. Maybe your first performance car. Not a bad option. It certainly costs a pretty penny, I'd say, for what it is. However, if you want something that's laid out like this, not a bad choice.